And we are talking to political commentator, historian, ex-lefty, now New Zealand First supporter, Chris Trotter. Chris, a couple of other things. I thought a genuine misstep by the government this week that was worthy of reporting, and that was the meanness of those cuts to disability allowances that were pretty quickly rolled back.
Yeah, that was a real political blunder, and I'm afraid it's beginning to look as though we're in for quite a few of these, and I'm afraid as the austerity program unfolds, there won't be the sudden correction after the public outcry, because this government has, for reasons that, you know, not even people on its side of the political divide and who believe in their sort of, you know, economic philosophy can understand. And it's this insistence on proceeding with the tax cuts. Virtually everybody who knows anything at all about the New Zealand economy are telling them, don't do this. The way you're planning to do it will be inflationary.
Yeah.
The money isn't there. You are going to have to slash and burn when we are already in recession, when people are already feeling as though they're going backwards, and the sort of numbers you're talking about, the percentage cuts, are just ridiculous. Sean, I'm so old that I remember marching up the streets when Rob Muldoon introduced his 3% cuts.
Yeah. Yeah, Chris,
Now,
the other thing is, I believe...
between 5 and 7%. Yeah. I mean, this is just going to get worse.
I believe the National Party is completely delusional if it thinks it got elected on the back of its tax cut promises.
Oh, here.
So I don't think that it costs itself politically if it makes the tough choice not to proceed with them. Of course, the left-wing news media will cry liars, liars, pants on fires, but they've backed themselves into a corner because they say it's a bad decision. I can't see the coalition losing support if it makes that tough decision, because National would be delusional to think they got elected on the strength of their policies rather than the unpopularity of the last government.
Exactly. They have misunderstood the nature of their mandate, and this is what is driving them in entirely the wrong direction. What this country desperately needed, and what the slogans at least appeared to promise, you know, let's get our country back on track, right?
Yeah.
Was a sort of Keith Holyoake type government, a sort of benign, let's just, you know, fix what the other side have broken, and then let's govern in a way that looks after as many New Zealanders as possible. And then, of course, when you call yourself a national party, that's implied in the name. You know, you're a party for the whole nation. I mean, that's why National called itself National, because Labour was a particularist party. It was a socialist party. It was governing for Labour. Now, you can't really call yourself the capital party, or maybe not. But the point was, they said, there's Labour with its union backers governing for one class against all the rest. And we are a national party, and we are not governing just for one class. We're going to govern for the whole nation. That was their pitch. And it was a very good pitch because, you know, between the end of the war and now, there have been more national governments than they have Labour ones, although Labour's fast catching up. But for a very long time, National just ruled New Zealand effortlessly. And part of the effortlessness was its awareness of how quickly things go south if you turn mean. Yeah. Keith Holyoake remembered being spat at when he first stood for Parliament in the 30s.
Was he at Freiburg College?
Sorry?
Was he at Freiburg College?
Right. No, well, yes, a practice which has been
fine old political tradition. Yeah, Chris, you see, I think...
He took the right message from it. It was, you don't want to be a government that's hated.
Yeah.
That takes you nowhere.
And I wonder if Luxon has the political nous, if collectively this coalition, and it would be true political courage and leadership to say, no, we're going to put the tax cuts on hold, we're going to pay nurses and doctors a little more, and because that's the right thing to do.